What's up guys, it's Laura, and before I begin, in case you're noticing, I am in a new setting, and that is because I just got back from my summer trip to New York to visit my mom, my family, my friends, and all that good jazz. But I'm back in New Hampshire with my dad and my two brothers, and yeah. But on that note, that brings me to this week's theme, back to school week. Those are three words that no kid ever wants to hear, back to school. And the commercials for back to school have been making me very upset. Like, whenever I see back to school commercial, I basically change the channel. But whenever I change the channel, there's always another back to school commercial on, so you're kind of forced to deal with it. So this week, I will be doing New York schools versus New Hampshire's. I've lived in New York for 14 years of my life. And this past November, I moved to New Hampshire with my dad, and I started to go to school up here. It was maybe a quarter of the way into freshman year, and I had to make some big adjustments. So that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about, the New York schools versus New Hampshire's. So let's begin. Okay, so number one, New York schools, they're very close together, and they have, and each town has their own school, as to New Hampshire, where you may live in one town, but a lot of different towns go to that school. So New Hampshire schools, they are very spread out, and there aren't that many of them as to New York, where if you go to each town, there are different high schools for that town, if that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Number two. Going off of number one, New Hampshire schools have a larger population than New York schools do. New York schools, the school I went to, it had about 1,500 kids, maybe give or take 300. But the school I go to now, there are about 2,000 kids, because there are kids from different towns around us too. So all in all, the population of New York schools is lower than the population of New Hampshire schools. Number three. The way the schedules are set up for New Hampshire schools and New York schools are a lot different. In New York schools, you have 10 40-minute periods. As to New Hampshire schools, you have 4 85-minute blocks. And so your blocks go on and off each day. So one day, for my school colors are red and silver, so they would go back and forth. So like 1 R I would have wellness, and 1 S I would have math, and then it would go on and off each day. Like each day you have a different schedule. Like it would switch on and off, so your homework is due every 2 days. And personally, I like it better because it gives me more time to do my homework, and it gives me more time to put more effort into it. So I think it's a better, a better adjustment for me, because in New York I would never do my homework because I never had enough time. But here it's a lot easier because I have more time. So yeah. Number four. In my opinion, the people in New Hampshire are a lot nicer when you first meet them, because I don't really know why, but when I moved to New Hampshire, the people were just a lot nicer. I don't know if it was because I knew the people that I went to school with my whole life, or if it was just because they thought they were the shit. I really don't know, but I feel like when I first met the people in New Hampshire, they were a lot nicer, but when I got to know them, I found out that they were just the same as New York. But when I first met them, they were a lot nicer, so it kind of contradicts itself. And yeah. Number five. Okay. This is something that it kind of bothers me that they don't do in New Hampshire, but I kind of like it. I don't really know. In New York, my school, we had an open campus school, which is basically when you could leave whenever you had like an off period, or like whenever you just didn't want to go to class. I don't recommend you cutting class, but you could basically just leave didn't want to be in school. But in New Hampshire, we have a closed campus school, except for the juniors and the seniors. In my school now, if you're a junior or a senior, they all have their licenses. So if they want to leave for lunch, they have the opportunity to, but they just have to sign out before they do. So the office and the principal and the nurse know all where they are. And I feel like, and I don't know, I don't know which one I like better, but I feel like they're both pretty good because you can both leave. But I like the fact in New York that you could leave if you're a freshman or a sophomore, not just juniors and seniors. But what can you do? Thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll be posting every weekday, and we have a lot of very good themes coming out, so stay tuned. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow and Friday and then Monday and then Tuesday and then Wednesday again so you can watch me. And yeah, I will see you all next Wednesday, and stay